The NCAA Women's Basketball Championship continues later today on ESPN2, 7:30 Eastern, Oklahoma versus 2-seed Notre Dame. And at 9:30, your number 1 seed Cornhuskers taking on Kentucky. ESPN, the exclusive home of the NCAA Women's Championship. Glad you're back with us from Long Island. Rob Stone, Randy Peterson, the rose between two thorns. Hall of Famer Johnny Petraglia, who not only finished 22nd this week, but his son finished 11th. What an amazing week it must have been for you.
Oh, it was just the greatest. And then watching him qualify, and then never thought I was going to get the experience to bowl my son in the finals, and I'm still choked up every time I think about it. It's just great.
It was wonderful watching the standings throughout the week, and you also get to be here as part of the Mark Roth tournament, and I know you have a rich history with him.
Oh, yeah, Mark. Well, Mark and I go back 35 years, and what they're doing here today is just it's terrific. I think, Brad Hanlon from OnTheBallBowling.com and KR Strikeforce, they put together these balls. I think over $10,000 already, with the and everybody helped in, the help of Brunswick, the PBA, and its members. It's been a terrific week. Just wonderful.
We're glad to have you here, and stick around. Join us here as we continue our coverage here of the Mark Roth Plastic Ball Championship. There's a live shot of Mark, and the step ladder has been updated. Wayne Garber, your 4 seed with a 258-245 win, has moved on to take on Walter Ray Williams Jr. We knew there would be high scores today because, Johnny, we saw it all week long here, didn't we?
Well, it's really the bowlers today are so tremendous. Every generation is better than the previous generation and learns from them. And the bowlers are so talented today. Even though they don't get to bowl with a plastic ball all year, you put that ball in their hand, and once they figure it out, they repeat shots so well, you know that they're going to bowl well.
Rob, I think one of the things that Johnny failed to mention early on is that he did bowl his son in match play. It was the first game of match play, and he smoked Little John. So, I mean, not only did he get to bowl his son, but he beat him. So,
well, I think he was a little nervous that first game, but the next 15 games he smoked me pretty good.
What a great moment that must have been. Jealous. I think that's wonderful. So here's Garber trying to take care of the 4-pin here in the first. So Garber starts off with the spare. Here comes the living legend.
The all-time PBA Tour titles holder with 47. He is a 6-time PBA Player of the Year and 3-time member of Team USA from Ocala, Florida. Please welcome Walter Ray Williams, Jr.
Well, you saw in that graphic, Johnny, he is 50 years old, which means he is eligible for the PBA Senior Tour. And talking to him today, he says, I want to play it as much as I can this summer. It's good news for you guys, right?
Oh, yeah, that gets me just so excited. Just another spot in the finals gone.
Right, and Walter Ray opens up by shredding the rack.
Another spot in the title match gone. Here he comes.
Thanks, WRWJ. Really appreciate that. I mean, he's bowling like he's in his mid-30s right now. I mean, what a wonderful season he is having. Began the week 2nd place on the Player of the Year points list. If he finishes 3rd, he'll be tied for 1st with Bill O'Neill. 2nd or better, he's your leader. Oh, Walter Ray leaves the 10.
Johnny, did you ever think in your wildest dreams you'd see a 50-year-old man leading the tour in earnings, points, and average?
Randy, I find it totally amazing because I have always mentioned, and I mentioned it to you, that when Andy Varapapa won the All-Star back-to-back when it was 100 games at 55 and 56, I thought it was the greatest achievement in sport. Bowler of the Year when you're 50 years old, if he wins this year, that is really spectacular. And when you are past 50, you know how tough it is to do at 50.
I think we should get a blood test from him afterwards. What do you think, guys?
I think he's going to come up clean, but it's worth a shot if you're one of his competitors, right? So Walter Ray starts strike spare. Wayne Garber up now after a 9 spare in the first. Randy Peterson, Rob Stone, and Hall of Famer Johnny Petraglia with you. Spinning Messenger won't find.
Boy, he bowled terrific that first game. He really is a lock and load, too. He can get it down there in a hurry.
When you first saw his style, Johnny, what jumped out in your mind, in your eyes?
Well, I knew that he had problems through an accident, and to watch how well he can perform, through all the adversity is really something. As he gets to those last 2 steps and lets that ball go and follow through, as you watch all week, you see how well he repeats over and over and over again the 2 most important parts of the sport, and he does that very well.
Particularly with the plastic ball.
Particularly with plastic, exactly, where the ball isn't going to run all over the place on you, and a pattern like this where there's strips, it actually it can be a little bit better for the plastic ball because you don't have to circle as far.
Right, and he doesn't like to open the lane up. I mean, this guy's a down and inner. We saw that at the red, white, and blue tournament in Wichita earlier in the season. His strength is down and in, and he can do that with this plastic ball on the shark pattern.
Needs the 10.
The only issue, though, John, for Wayne Garber is that once the front part of the lane breaks down and he has to create just a little bit of angle, he's going to leave that weak 10.
Absolutely. Once he's got to move, say, 2-1 left and just go arc it just a shade, he's going to start leaving those weak 10s, and even a little fuller in the pocket can create that ringing 10.
Yeah.
Where in that first game, when he could go right at him and the ball's on top of the pocket, it's going to carry when it gets there.
He had 8 strikes in match number 1, seeking his first here. It's another spare. Can't throw too many more spares with this guy lurking. And Walter A. Williams Jr. in position to be on top of the Player of the Year points list when this day is over. Strike number 2 for WRWJ, and here he is on the difference between bowling what he normally would and bowling plastic balls.
Well, under the normal shark pattern, there's a lot more oil, and a plastic ball just really won't hook at all. So I would probably be using something like this Breakout by 900 Global. It's been a very good ball for me, won my last tournament with it, and just gives me that more hook that I need on the oil that the PBA likes to use on tour on a normal basis.
Back-to-back jacks for WRWJ.
And John, this is the crazy thing. I mean, you look at the way that ball just hit and how the 6 just carved the 10 out. As you take a look at the numbers from red, white, and blue, and today, Garber again staying at that 20-mile-an-hour range. Walter A. Williams Jr., and his ball speed's identical. But look at the way he gets a plastic ball to saw the 10 out like that. It's just amazing.
Well, even though, Randy, he doesn't throw a lot of hook, Walter Ray, as you watch that ball come out of his hand, his ball is always rotating toward the pocket. Walter Ray never gets a rev that's rotating away from the pocket and then has to recover. So even though it doesn't look like it's hooking a lot, or he doesn't have the power of some of the big rev players, he does that last couple of feet. The ball is turning when it's supposed to be turning, and he cuts the 10. He is amazing.
Hey, guys, I think another worthy note is that everybody on the telecast today is using 16 pounds. Now, Wayne Garber uses 16 pounds whether he's throwing plastic or not, but Walter Ray doesn't. Your tournament leader, Jason Belmonte, doesn't. Mike Machuga went to 16 pounds for the show, or for this week, rather. The guys went to plastic. They knew they needed that extra pound to get it to hit. I mean, it's got old school written all over it, John, because back in the day, you and I both threw 16.
And the main thing is they really were smart about this, because look at that.
Gets the late kick to get the double, does Garber.
Because once you're throwing a plastic ball with a pancake weight block, you've taken the dynamics out of the bowling ball.
And here's what you're talking about, John. You're back in the 60s. In fact, I still remember my first bowling ball was a Manhattan rubber. And then you had the plastics, man, and there was really only one name in plastics. It was the Columbia Yellow Dot.
Columbia Yellow Dot, right.
3 in a row for Walter Ray.
And then, John, after plastics, I remember I was throwing a ball that had your name on it. That was an LT-48 made by Brunswick. It was just
that Brunswick LT-48 just really got everybody going.
And the neat thing about it was, I don't know if Rob ever had a yellow dot in an LT-48, but back in the day, You showed up with 2 bowling balls. You had.
Why are you laughing, Johnny?
Well, because I know you weren't born yet, Rob. That's how.
One of many reasons to laugh at that line. Another strike for the legendary Walter Ray Williams Jr. seeking tour title number 48. And WRWJ is known for going venue to venue in his RV. Today on the trip to Baltimore for next week's show, he'll have an interesting passenger. Do you know who it is?
I do.
It's a good one, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
That info next when the PBA on ESPN returns.